And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Check out all your coolest wrestling factoids, all the action inside and outside of the ring, behind curtain calls, also some backstage, some backstage drama. I'm just kidding, no, definitely not a, co-conspirator in terms of that. But, yeah, let's dig on into our next segment, our segment 4. We're gonna tribute Sika Anoa'i. So yeah, let's dig on into that. All right, let's do it. So basically, you know who he is. You know why I'm talking about him. Obviously, 1,010%. Love this guy. Love the way he's been in the professional wrestling industry since I was even born. It's kind of crazy. But, obviously he kind of had the relatives. The real life Anoa'i family was connected to the Fatus and also the Mayavias. They started with the High Chief, Peter Maivia, starting in the 1950s, 1940s, 1960s. I think it is. Don't quote me on that. In terms of professional wrestling, this family goes a long way. This family goes a very, very far way. I don't know. So, committee to the tribute. June 25th of 2024, Sika Anoa'i passes away. Hall of Famer. He's one half of the greatest tag team in professional wrestling industry. And yes, I said it, the greatest tag team in professional wrestling history, the Wild Samoans with his brother Ava. So, definitely pretty badass. He was the father of Roman Reigns and also Matthew Rosie Anoa'i, who passed away in 2017. Which, kind of crazy how that, kind of worked out. But, I'll save that for a Monday memorial kind of thing. He was born in America, Samoa in 1945. The Wild Samoans debuted in 1973 in wrestling. They went to Stu Hart's Stampede Wrestling in Canada and Japan, and they debuted in the WWF in 1980. And the Wild Samoans were inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2007, and they absolutely dominated the 1970s and the 1980s. So, yeah, the foundation of the Anoa'i family, the Samoan dynasty, is, kind of because this guy went out there, be like, hey, brother, you want to wrestle? We're strong, we're tough, we have a lot to offer the company. So let's do it. Let's just do it. And ever since then, it's kind of been history. There is no Roman Reigns without, Sika Anoa'i, obviously. There is no the bloodline. There's no Jimmy J. Uso. And I know that might be stretching it a little bit, but when the Wild Samoans were doing their thing in WWF, networking, connecting with the Mayaveas, also the Fatus, they created a dynasty. They created a legacy. They created something that's never, ever, ever going to be broken in terms of professional wrestling. So you can't help but to think that this guy was a trailblazer. Nobody that has, Samoan matters in the professional wrestling industry without Sika Anoa'i. This guy definitely paved the way for his family. Definitely did everything he can in terms of professional wrestling to kind of put it on the map. Obviously, the tag team division was a hell of a lot better back then, but that's in my opinion. In terms of WWE / WWF, obviously they wrestled in the NWA as well. It's just, it's unfathomable. It's crazy. It's remarkable about what these two guys did. The way they kind of introduced the Samoan, you only know Samoa because of these guys. I don't know if that's harsh to say, but it seems true right now. It kind of seems like that's the way it is. That none of these wrestlers like Umaga, Rikishi, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, Solo Sikoa, Tonga Loa, Jika Fatu. None of these guys don't even exist in the wrestling world if it's not for Sika Anoa'i. And that's, a lot of people say. A lot of people, especially when I got into the sports entertainment industry, also the communications kind of field, they're like, look, like sometimes 1,010%, it's your skills, it's your way to adapt. It's also your way to kind of make a good situation whenever you can. But you got to network. You got a network. Sometimes it's about who you know. Sometimes it's about, what you did. And that's something that, Sika Anoa'i did definitely for the families of the Mayaveas, Fatus, and the Anoa'i family. There is no Samoan dynasty. There is no, you know, nothing, absolutely nothing without these two guys. The Wild Samoans, also, the Sika Anoa'i. So you definitely have to tip your hat to them. Definitely, a lot of people don't know that, the reason why Roman Reigns is here right now, the reason why Jimmy and Jey Uso were a thing, the reason why, they're the longest reigning tag team champions, the reason why Rikishi kind of became involved, the reason why, Nia Jax, Tamina, you name it. You name it. If you're part of the Anoa'i family, you definitely have to back your reasons. You definitely have to pay respects to this man who passed away yesterday, tragically. So, at the age of 79. So definitely, definitely back up on that. Definitely, stand up on my ground in terms of that. So, yeah. Roman Reigns, his real name is Lady Joseph Anoa'i, issued a statement that acknowledged his father's influence, and obviously it's not it's hard. It's hard. It's not really easy to talk in terms of your family, but yeah, he said my family, and I thank everyone for outpouring of support in the name of my father. Pablo Leo Sikoa Anoi, who will forever be remembered as one half of the Wild Samoans, the tag team. My family had a profound impact on my entire family, and we are forever grateful for the foundation, they built for us. There's no way to fill the void left by his passing, but my sisters and I will do our best to represent him and his legacy. Rest in power, Dad. We love you. A lot of a lot, not crazy stuff, but just definitely a lot of. Whew, I don't know. It's kind of crazy because obviously, I lost my dad too. I don't, I'm not trying to compare, apples to oranges here and stuff like that. But it's not easy. It's not easy. And I kind of read a report today saying that Roman Reigns is probably not going to come back anytime soon because of this tragedy. And by all means, dude, take the time you want. Take the time you need. You earned it. You earned it. You were there busting your ass 1,316 days as the undisputed WWE champion. You took all the need. Take all the time you need, champ. Take all the time you need, Roman. Definitely love that. Like I said, he was a patriarch for the Anoa'i family, the wrestling family. He laid the groundwork for the future generations like Solo Sikoa, Jimmy and Jey Uso, Rikishi, Umaga, you name it. Honestly, the Anoa'i family is wrestling's most storied dynasties, and it's not going to change. It will never change. So, lastly, just want to say, rest in paradise. Rest in paradise, you legend. The legacy left from professional wrestling, from your fans, also to your family will live on forever. So, definitely throwing flowers. Definitely, Sika Noi, respect, love, and absolutely respect, the wrestling OGs that were trailblazers to kind of made people, amazing people like Roman Reigns, the Usos, Rikishi, Umaga, Tungaloa, Tamatanga, Nia Jax, Tamina, Jacob Fatu, just to kind of, Rocky Might, like just all these guys, all these guys. So, yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna move on to our fifth and final segment. Hope don't keep you guys too long. I know you guys are getting ready to watch Emran's soccer podcast happening at 9:30. Can't wait to watch that. It's the summer of soccer. I'm not a huge soccer guy, but Emran, he gets into it. He's a very knowledgeable guy, very passionate, very charismatic. So can't wait to do that. So, and lastly, we're gonna jump on into our Wednesday wrestling news. So hey, do not go anywhere.